This is News Central now. We apologize for starting late. Beginning the news is the president of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, is saying that he's still battling to secure the future of his $20 billion refinery, stressing that the fight is not yet finished. Now, speaking at an investor forum over the weekend, Dangote expressed confidence in eventually overcoming the challenges, reaffirming his commitment to see the refinery succeed. He accused certain individuals whom he claimed had profited significantly from government-subsidized fuel imports of working to sabotage his refinery project. Now, Dangote also alleged that the same group is funding opposition to President Bola Tinubu's removal of fuel subsidies and actively resisting efforts to boost local refining capacity in Nigeria. Now, for more on the lingering accusation of sabotage of Nigeria's refineries by a certain cabal, I'm now joined by public affairs analyst Taiwo Olakpade. Taiwo joins me here in the studio. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Okay, Mr. Taiwo, let's just go straight into the conversation now. Time and time again, we have had successive governments accuse a certain cabal of the failures of Nigeria's refineries. Can we look at what it means or what it meant each time we hear of cabals from your perspective? What do these cabals actually mean? Who are the cabals?
Thank you very much. For every business sector, we usually have this same set of people described or called as a cabal, as the case with Alhaji Dangote of the Dangote refinery. So it's not peculiar to the oil industry. However, because of the peculiarity and the pertinent nature of oil industry, we know the oil industry is also the mainstay of the nation's economy. So we can't joke with it. And for number one, for a population of over 200 million, whether we like it or not, that industry must be allowed to thrive. And aside the Dangote refinery that came on board maybe a few months ago or thereabouts, we need more private refineries. Aside the one of the nation's oil giants, which is the NNPC, the Port Harcourt, the Warri, the Kaduna refinery, by our population, we need more refineries to surface the Nigerian population, the Nigeria as a country. But in terms of cabal, whether we like it or not, it's a fight that I wish Alhaji Dangote will not surrender to, because we have them all around. And particularly, these are a set of people that they don't want business to thrive, they don't want business to survive because of the long time as usual, they want business as usual to continue to thrive, and they see that as a stumbling block to also affect their own interest, because there's always interest. Even in politics, there is particular interest of every other politician aside the political party or even the people that belongs to that party. So I'm not surprised that Alhaji Dangote is still crying out that the cabals are really acting as a stumbling block for his $20 billion refinery.
So what do you say, because there have been speculations about complicity, would you say that there is complicity within the government or its agencies? And if you would think so, how deep do you think that runs?
That's a very serious question. For me, I think whether we like it or not, this cabal, they are not ghosts. Whether we like it or not, this same set of people that we describe or call cabal in every other sector, but very prominent, so to say, in the oil industry, because you remember the time of when we used to have importation of fuel into the country, and this fuel subsidy saga, we remember what went down, the way some Nigerians that does not even have anything to do with the oil sector, we say they are also importing fuel with empty vessels, and they were making money, hell of money, billions of naira from such a venture. So that's also the reason why we had this government saying that we can no longer subsidize fuel in the country. So definitely some people have been shut out of business, and where else do you expect them to go? They find it so difficult to thrive in a legit environment. So what they thrive on is this, these shady businesses and the likes. And now, by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the comment that the subsidy is gone, definitely they must still want to find a way or a place to survive. And that's why they feel like, Dangote refinery for them is where they can conveniently look at and say, no, we must continue in our own line of trajectory. And they see Dangote as a stumbling block to their usual character or their usual business of making money where, like, you are reaping where you do not sow. So I think I give it to Alhaji Dangote, and whether we like it or not, it also requires that the president and the government must really give a strong backing to this sector. I'm not saying for Dangote refinery alone. I made mention of the fact that we still need more private refinery, because a population of over 200 million, a single refinery which is privately owned, and the government one that we know that Port Harcourt, there was a report that they've also started, producing oil locally. But we need more, and if we will need more, it will require strong government backing so that people are invested. It's not Akara and it's not Akara business. Dangote refinery spending roughly about $20 billion. So somebody can sit back and allow an investment of over $20 billion to go down the drain. So if Dangote is facing these challenges from this same cabal, how will other Nigerians who have that money to invest, how would they want to come into that business? So government must guarantee security of their business, return on their investment, so that it will also encourage more Nigerians who are willing to also find a space in that very important oil industry.
So in all of this, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is supposed to play a major role. Now, what the role is what we're unsure of. So what role would you say they have played in either enabling or resisting such sabotage that we see?
Well, in this regard, I know that NNPCL, you recall that recently we had the Naira for crude returned back, at the point we had this discussion as regards whether it's going to be renewed or not. There was this, rumor that NNPC unilaterally stopped it. Whereas, when you sign a contract, there must be a time for terminal. Maybe you also have to renew. So that is exactly what happened. There was need for renewal of that Naira for crude, which has been renewed, and also the reason why we're having recent reduction in the price of fuel locally, also because of what also goes around in international market, because oil is also is not just a local content, or is an international market. So whatever happens around the global oil industry will surely affect us locally. But if we produce this oil locally, definitely we expect that the price should come down ordinarily. And that's why Nigerians were so excited when Dangote refinery came on board, and the expectation was like maybe we'll be buying fuel at around 300 or 400 naira per liter. But alas, it started around close to about 900 thereabout. At the point it came down to 850. I'm sure it's around 835 or thereabout, at the moment. So the expectation is that since we are not importing, why can't we just buy this fuel at around 400 naira per liter? And I'm hoping that at the point it will get to an amount per liter that will be more affordable to Nigerians.
So with the launch of the Dangote refinery, do you think that the grip of these cabals is under threat?
That's why I said Dangote shouldn't give up the fight. We have cabals, not just peculiar to the oil industry, but because of the strategic location of and the importance of oil as the mainstay of the nation's economy. I made reference to the era of importation of fuel. When government was still subsidizing a few years back, some Nigerians became billionaires overnight without even lifting a fuel. All those shady businesses, because of the subsidy is gone era, of course it has affected some number of Nigerians, and they are not ready to settle for a legit business. So that's why the better place for them to look at is the Dangote refinery. Of course, they know they don't have the capacity to challenge NNPCL, as the case may be. So I'm hoping that we have a very strong backing by the federal government for Dangote refinery? Because whether we like it or not, cabal, like I said, they are everywhere. But if they see the sincerity of purpose from government and saying that this our baby must not die, and we must also have more of these babies for us to have a socio-economic development of our environment, whether we like it or not, you don't have any jobs. This refinery has created for Nigerians and some expatriates, as the case may be. So we need more of this. And like I said, if government can give Dangote the guarantee that nothing untoward will happen to your business, you will surely get returns. More Nigerians who has that money, or who have that money, as the case may be, will want to willingly also invest, so that there will be a healthy rivalry. And that's exactly will force down the price of fuel, just like we have seen a couple of times between Dangote and the NNPCL.
All right, Mr. Taiwo Olopade, Public Affairs Analyst, thank you so much for joining us to discuss this. And as usual, my mantra would be, we'll see how this plays out. Definitely. And I think I buy into the idea of it's time to start to expose some of these cabals. And it's not just peculiar to the oil industry, but it's baby steps. Baby steps, definitely. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll get there.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. We go on a short break now, and when we come back, we have more stories to stay with us. Thanks for staying with us in the news. Now, crowds are gathered along the mall in central London as the city prepares to mark the 80th anniversary of Victory in Europe Day, which commemorates the end of fighting in Europe during the Second World War. Among those present are families enjoying traditional cream teas and revelers continuing celebrations from the night before. The day's events are set to begin at midday. The military parade and a fly-past by the Red Arrows will headline the commemorations, and King Charles III, senior members of the royal family, and Prime Minister Keir Starmer are expected to attend. And what you see now are live visuals from the event, and definitely News Central Television will be bringing you more live updates as it proceeds. But in the meantime, we'll continue with more stories on the news. Now let's tell you that in political-related stories, Nigeria's electoral body, INEC, has denied reports claiming it is set May 27, 2025 for the resumption of continuous voter registration, CVR, and related services. In a statement posted on Sunday on X, INEC's Chief Press Secretary, Rotimi Oyekomi, described the circulating messages as false and anonymous, urging the public to disregard it. Now, the Commission clarified that it has not yet announced any date for the resumption of voter registration, transfers, or replacement of lost permanent voter cards. He, however, emphasized that any official updates will be shared through INEC's verified social media handles and official communication channels. Now, the Commission urged Nigerians to remain alert and avoid spreading unverified information. And now, Oseloka Obaze, a key ally of Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, has resigned his membership of the party. Obaze disclosed this in a letter addressed to LP chairman in Ochuche Ward 406 of Baru local government in Oka on Sunday. Obaze, a former United Nations diplomat, was the secretary to Anambra government under Obi and had worked closely with him as an advisor and chieftain of the party until his resignation from the Labour Party. Now, he said his decision was to express his disapproval and protest the conduct of the April 5 governorship primary election of the party in Anambra. Obaze also cited the leadership crisis in the party at the national level and the refusal of leaders at the party to harmonize or reconcile the Julius Abure and Senator Nenadi Usman factions. He, however, did not disclose his next political moves. Now, residents of Galadanji, Gwale local government of Kano State have expressed diverse opinions over the appointment of two Galadiman Kano and the police siege on the residents of the Galadiman located in that area. And this is coming barely a few hours after the police vacated the area, paving way for the Galadima Kano Munir Sanusi, backed by the state government-supported Emir Sanusi Lamido II. Now, while some of the residents welcome Munir Sanusi, others believe the Galadiman turbaned by Ado Bayero should have been ushered into the residence by the police. News Central's Emmanuel Bagudu tells us more in this report.
Anguwan Galadanchi, Gwale local government area of Kano State, the community hosting the official residence of the Galadiman Kano, a title now controversially held by two persons, Manir Sanusi and Sanusi Adubayero. No thanks to the unending emirate crisis that has been on for almost a year now. This building is the bone of contention as supporters of the two emirs believe that the Galadima banned by their favorite emir should occupy the residence.
Sai aka ce za a naɗa wannan to mun ji daɗin naɗin nan da aka yi masa tun da ɗan uwansa ne ciki ɗaya mun gode mun gode mun gode mun gode Allah ya taya shi riƙo.
mai girma sarkin Kano Muhammadu Sunusi na biyu ya kawo mana jajirtacce mai son ci gaban mutane sannan kuma wanda ya san haƙƙin talakawa yana taimakon mutane 100%. kuma mun ji daɗi da naɗa wannan galadima da aka yi Alhaji Maniru ubangiji Allah ya taya shi riko.
To ai ka san abu ne wanda gashi nan dai abun ya rufu kaso biyu, to mu dai gaskiya wanda muke baya shine Sunusi Ado Bayero.
Yawa ba Manir sabida abu ne akan doka wanda gwamnati wanda aka tabbatar magana tana kotu kuma muke bin doka da oda. Akan wannan muka sani muna tare da nadi da Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero mai martaba sarkin Kano.
Some of them did not hide their displeasure over the sealing of the residence by the police in the wake of the crisis.
Sai na ga ma'aikata to na ma yi tunanin ko turo su aka yi su ba da tsaro saboda nadin da za a yi, ashe magana sabanin ba haka ba, amma dai a lokacin gaskiya na ji ban ji daɗi ba sosai da sosai.
An hana iyayen mu wuce ga shi ranar Juma'a ce, hanya ce da ake bi a je masallaci amma sun toshe. Bayan Allah tsofaffi da suke biyowa ta hanyar nan ita ce mafi sauki zuwa masallacin Juma'a amma sun toshe. Gaskiya ban ji daɗi ba a cikin raina saboda ba ni ba iyayenmu na gida wayansu sun dawo daga kasuwa bu san da abin mutum da mu ma tun cikin dare muka zo muka gani. Gaskiya abin ya ɗaga mana hankali, mun zata hana abin ne ma za a yi ko yaƙi ko faɗa ake na daba haka ko wani abu.
Wannan abu bai mana daɗi ba, amma sakamakon cewar wani abu ne aka yi shi bisa kuskure da rashin sani, to amma dukkan wannan abin ya farko zai yi ƙarshe, kuma wannan ba shi ne farau ba, abin da ya fi haka ma an yi mana mun jure shi.
Gaskiya yayin da na kai zuwa da daddare na ga 'yan sanda sun shigo zuwa Galadanci sun yi kamfin ɗin gidan Galadima, sun tsaya sun kulla gidan Galadima. So wannan abu gaskiya za a ce wannan abu ni dai a gani na yayi matukar yi min daɗi. Saboda me isa ya min daɗi? Saboda ina ganin da cewar idan aka naɗa wannan Galadima wanda Sunusi Lamido zai naɗa ga wanda Aminu Ado zai naɗa, to sai in ga kamar idan aka zo kamar za a dan samu wani matsala kamar irin tashin hankali haka, to shi yasa da 'yan sanda suka zo suka kulla gidan sai na ji daɗi a raina.
For now, the two Galadimas of the Kano Emirate will continue to function in their position till the Supreme Court delivers its final verdict on the impasse and the authentic Emir of Kano. In Gwale local government area of Kano State, Emmanuel Bagudu.
Now we go on another short break, and when we come back, we've got more stories. Do stay with us.